Okay, so some things to address. Yes, I am recovering from having a pimple on my nose. And yes, this is a new chair. No, it's not DX Racer because I didn't feel like spending $500 on a chair, especially when I'm trying to move soon. So, just those addressed as quickly as possible. Tom Holland's pretty important in the news right now because he has a new movie coming out called Onward with Chris Pratt. So, expect another Chris Pratt or another Tom Holland compilation in the future, maybe. But he's gonna have a pretty busy rest of the year because very, very soon he's gonna be shooting the Uncharted movie, and then shortly after that he's gonna be doing Spider-Man 3. But I just want to talk to you for a second about this Uncharted movie because it's supposed to shoot in like 2 weeks, and I don't think they have a director. Like, I've heard some rumors about Ruben Fleischer being attached to the project now, but I don't know if that's true. Now, I did know that he didn't do Venom 2. So I knew that Venom wasn't going to get in the way of him doing Uncharted if he needed to because he's not doing Venom 2. But still, I don't know. But I just want to talk briefly about the history of Uncharted and losing its directors because it's beginning to build up a reputation as a cursed project. Because, I mean, it was announced in 2008 after the success of the first game. And I think that time period would have been the best time to make this movie. And I shouldn't say that. I don't want to talk too much about, like, the whole realm of video game movie adaptations. Because I do have a video about that I recorded almost a year ago. But so help me God, I'm going to put that video out, I promise. But I do think that an Uncharted movie could work. It's super simple. Do you like National Treasure? Do you like Indiana Jones? Do you like The Mummy? There you go. Just take the best elements from all of those things and put them into a movie. But they're just making some decisions that aren't the best for this project's longevity, I feel. For instance, when it was announced a couple years ago that Tom Holland would be playing Nathan, we all immediately knew what that meant. We're looking at a kid Nathan Drake. We have seen that though, and according to a recent statement from Tom, he's read the script because he's in it. He says that this movie serves as an origin for the character that is set before any of the games. That, like, the story that we get from the young Nathan in this movie is supposed to be a precursor to everything we see him do in the games. The problem with that, though, is that we have a twofold origin for him in Uncharted 3 and 4. 4 shows us how he became Nathan Drake that we know of, or that we know him as now, and how he became a thief/treasure hunter in the first place. And then 3 shows us how he met Sully and how he got better at what he does, like how he started building up a reputation. So there's really nothing that this movie could show us that we really need. Oh, it's his first big treasure hunting job. Yeah, but we know he did it, so it doesn't matter. Like, 2 years ago almost, back in 2018, director Alan Ungar made a fan film based on Uncharted where Nathan Drake was played by Nathan Fillion, and ever since, and even before that for some people, we have wanted Nathan Fillion to play Nathan Drake because we want a grown man. Like, sure, Tom Holland's older than me. He's 23. But I don't... Tom Holland looks like a little boy, and he always will. There will never be a point in time where you can convince me that he's playing a character that's in his 30s or in his 40s or anything like that. Nathan Drake was already in his early 30s in the first Uncharted game. That's why if we're going to do an in-between Uncharted 2 and 3, Uncharted 3 and 4 era Nathan Drake, we want someone that's older. We want Nathan Fillion. And that's the thing. There's so much time that takes place in between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. Now, you can't do in between 3 and 4. Well, you can, because he doesn't retire from treasure hunting immediately at the end of 3. But at a certain point, he does settle down with Elena, and they stop that lifestyle. And that's another thing. There's no Sam in this movie, obviously, because, like, Sam wasn't a character until the 4th game. But a lot of people really, really like Sam. Sam is a very welcomed addition to the Uncharted family, to the lore, to the mechanics of the game, Sam is great. But there will be no Elena, no Chloe. There's going to be a Sully because Sully has been a part of Nathan's life for a very long time. But Sam, I don't think Sam knew Sully for very long before that whole prison thing went down in the flashback at the beginning of the fourth game. So I just don't get how they want to pull this off. Like, I want to say I trust whoever's in charge, but I don't know who's in charge. I don't know who's over this movie. I wish Amy Hennig was. Is that her name? Amy Hennig? She used to be president of Naughty Dog. But real quick, this project has gone through so many different directors. First, we've got David O. Russell. And at that point, Mark Wahlberg was supposed to play Nathan. No, none of us want that. He ended up leaving the project, though, because of creative differences. Yeah, in 2011. 2011 is when they lost their first director for this movie. It is 2020. They've been trying for well over a decade to get this movie to happen. Then we had Neil Berger from Limitless. Rewriting the script from scratch. He's just jumping into it. The screenplay is written, and you never know who's going to be acting in it or not. Then he was approached to do Divergent, if you've seen any of those movies. And then Sony brought in the National Treasure writers to redo the script. The next new director they brought on was Seth Gordon, who has done... Oh, okay, so they got a writer from Safe House and Stolen, David Guggenheim, to redo the script. Gordon has done Identity Thief and Horrible Bosses. Oh, no. That's not good. That's really not good. I don't like that. And then the script was rewritten 9 months later by Mark Bowl, who did Zero Dark 30 and The Hurt Locker, so that's cool. I love both of those movies. Maybe that's not the tone we need for an Uncharted movie, but it would have been better than Identity Thief and Horrible Bosses. The Uncharted games have some fun, some comedy in them, but no. That was dropped after Sony's emails got leaked in 2015, which is how the world at large first found out that there were negotiations between Marvel and Sony to get Spider-Man into the main MCU. After that, you have Sean Levy from Night at the Museum. Ooh, and some writers from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Chuck. Maybe. But that was dropped, and then later on, the same year that all that stuff went on, is when that fan film I was talking about came out. And even if we don't get Stephen Lang as Sully, which, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't really want him anyway, Nathan Fillion is the perfect Nathan Drake. If I got to pick who played Sully, it would be Tom Hanks. Either Tom Hanks or Bruce Campbell. I just feel like either of them would be able to get it done. Dan Trachtenberg from 10 Cloverfield Lane. Ooh. Okay. And an episode of Black Mirror called Playtest. I've never seen Black Mirror. I've seen Bandersnatch, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was not overly impressed. I don't know what's going on with my hair, like why it wants to peek out so hard. But after that, some writers from Iron Man were brought onto the project. And then Travis Knight, the director of the Bumblebee movie, was brought on. And then he left due to scheduling conflicts. Tom Holland's schedule is tight with him filming Spider-Man 3 this summer, and Travis Knight was a casualty of this dilemma. What I find interesting about that, though, is Tom Holland still has to shoot Spider-Man this summer regardless. It's in the contract. It's in the renewed Sony-Marvel deal. Now, if the Sony-Marvel deal had stayed severed, Travis Knight could have stayed on the project. But because they patched it back together, they fast-tracked Spider-Man 3, which that could be a good thing or a bad thing. So no matter what happens, no matter who ends up getting attached to this Uncharted movie, Tom Holland still has to play Spider-Man in the third movie, so I don't exactly know what that has to do with anything. I don't know how his scheduling has anything to do with Travis Knight not being able to stay on. What it sounds like is that Sony needs a director that they can bring onto the project and then direct the movie through him. Like, they're going to bring whoever it is onto the movie and tell them exactly what to do. And since they couldn't get Travis Knight to roll over like that, I guess they just had to let him go. And you could be like, well, you're reading too much into that. There's no evidence of what you're saying. Maybe not. Maybe not particularly. However, based on the fact that there's all these directors that have already left due to scheduling conflicts and creative differences, it's very easy to see that Sony has what they have in mind for the Uncharted movie, and they just need a director that will let them do that. That's it. Honestly, I get the sense that they'll probably end up making this movie without a director if necessary. By the way, Sean Levy is working on Free Guy, so I'll probably go see that. But I don't know. I don't, like I said, I think an Uncharted movie could work. There's no reason that it can't or shouldn't if you do it the right way. All you have to do is make up a new story and set it in any post-Drake's Fortune era you want. You could even set it before Drake's Fortune if Nathan is a grown man. That's fine. But let me know what you think. Why is it that the Uncharted movie seems to be cursed? Why is it that they can't seem to hold on to a director? Should this movie exist? Should this movie exist as it is? Can it be tweaked? Can the concept be changed in order to make it a functional film? Any of that stuff that you'd like to answer, I'd like to see what you think in the comments. And I'll see you soon. I dropped that.